being Survivor Series season and WWE still upgrading and updating the current Survivor Series posters, I figured today would be a fantastic time to rank every single Survivor Series poster in a tier list. Now, please bear with me. I know if I sound off, it's because I'm dealing with a little bit of sickness, so I'm still trying to go forward, even though I'm sick, because that's what I do. Understand that this is just my preference of what I like in a poster, so mine's going to be different from yours. I have to always say that because people get very upset when we don't agree on things, but it's just my opinion of what I think is good and what I think isn't. So here we go. The categories are Masterpiece, Good, Mid, No, and my favorite tier list of all time, Jail.
Jail. You right to jail.
And we are starting off with Survivor Series 1987, the poster. It's a yellow background with that ugly Survivor Series font that I didn't like in my last video. If you want to check that out, check it out. I ranked every single Survivor Series logo in a tier list. I don't like this font, this concrete Survivor Series font. It's really just a match card on the poster. I don't like this one. I'm putting this one in no. Just overall Survivor Series from a graphic design standpoint of 1987. Overall, it's almost jail worthy, but we're putting it in no. Next up is Survivor Series 1988, and this poster, it is purple with that same ugly font, and really just the whole match cards laid out with the pictures of each opponent with a yellow background on them. I don't like them at all, and this, from a graphic design point, these are ugly, these are hideous. It's going in no. Then we go to 1989, and this one is a little bit better, and I think this is actually from a VHS tape. I don't know if I picked the right poster, but just assume it's the poster on the right side or what would be on the front of a VHS tape. That's the one I chose. I love this logo. The yellow I don't love, but it's not terrible because it goes a little bit better with the logo itself with all the colors. This one, it's Hulk Hogan, Jake the Snake Robert, and Team Demolition, the Hulkamaniacs on the front of the cover. This one is a little bit better. Just from a poster standpoint, it makes a little bit more sense. I'm going to put it in mid. Then we go to 1990, and this one is very similar to 1988. The difference is that this poster is black, and it really just has the match cards on the poster with the pictures of the wrestlers, which it's not the greatest. It really looks like your typical indie local wrestling promotion poster that you would see maybe like on a flyer in your town. So it's a little bit better than the 1988 one, so I'm going to put this one in mid. Then we go to 1991, and this is where they finally started to do some type of graphic design, even though it's not the best. You have Hulk Hogan versus The Undertaker on the front cover with two match cards on the bottom, which I don't mind, with the gravest challenge behind it, and the background itself is black, but there is the silhouette of a casket, and inside the casket is like, you know, The Undertaker's purple and black. I think that's a much better presentation of what a poster should look like. You have The Undertaker and Hulk Hogan heads cut out. I kind of wish there was a little bit more than just the PNG cutout, like, you know, they were faded into the background, but for what it's worth, it's actually not that bad, and I kind of like this one. So I probably like it because it's better than the rest, so I'm going to put this in good. Eventually, it will be like very low tier good to maybe even high tier mid. And this isn't an official poster, but I did want to include this one. This was a DVD front cover version of Survivor Series 1991, and it's still the gravest challenge, but it's Hulk Hogan on the front cover with a black background, and in the back is The Undertaker kind of sitting like near a tombstone with a very foggy darkness to it. It's very creepy, very Undertaker-esque. I like this one, and I really just wanted to include it. It's not an official poster. It's just the front cover of a DVD, but I thought it was cool enough that I really did want to include it, so we included it. Next up is 1992 with, again, that awesome logo at the top. You have the Ultimate Warrior, Randy Macho Man Savage, Razor Ramon, and Ric Flair on the front cover, and it's giving WrestleMania 40 vibes with the tag match. You have another match card at the bottom, but it doesn't take away from the 4 on the front. This one I do like because it's not oversaturated with wrestlers. I like the black background with like the purple fade in the background. I actually like this poster. I'm going to put this one also in that good category because I do like it. Next, we go to 1993, and this one is one of those cartoony illustrations that they were kind of doing around this time. I believe they did this for SummerSlam as well, or some type of pay-per-view. I can't remember. They did this before, and I loved it. And again, Survivor Series was around Thanksgiving time, so they made an illustration with a couple wrestlers on the front cover with a turkey, and I don't know why I like this, but I do. It's a very interesting illustration. It's very cartoony in a way that I really like. They also did one with Yokozuna. I don't know if it was for this one or for 1994. I like this one. I'm going to put this one in Masterpiece because I really do like this style. I kind of wish they would do this now. I feel like it'd be pretty cool to do something like this down the line. So I'm putting this one in Masterpiece because I do like it. Next up is 1994. This one, they changed the logo. You have The Undertaker with his eyes rolled back. He's got the pale white eyes on the front cover. Scary as hell. I love that part of it. You have a really nice purple, yellow, orange, and red sunset behind it with a 4 cowboy-ish silhouette. I think that's a really cool illustration. And what I do like about this one is just it's creepy and it's very menacing. And I'm assuming this is in Texas. And something about this poster, it's just giving me a vibe that the theme song should be that song that Undertaker used at WrestleMania 27.
Ain't no grave can hold my body down.
I feel like that would work really well here. I think this is a really cool poster. I'm going to put this one also in Masterpiece because it's creepy. The Undertaker's on the front with his eyes rolled back. It's very scary. I love like the 4 silhouettes in the background. I don't know who that is off the top of my head. I really like it. And sunsets fucking rule. I like sunsets. Next up is the 1995 poster, and this one is Diesel and Shawn Michaels on the front cover, which I do find a little bit odd, simply for the fact that they are not wrestling each other in this show. So they're just putting 2 of, I guess, of their big stars on the front cover, and they're just kind of standing there just chilling. And to me, that's kind of boring. I don't really like that. So I'm going to put this one in no. Next up is 1996. This one is in New York City, really telling between the concrete buildings behind them. And you have your big 4 stars of the entire show. What I don't necessarily like is that they're just the PNG head cutouts. They don't really contrast the background of the buildings. So from far away, they almost blend in, which I find a little weird. I want to like this one, but I don't really like it that much. So I'm going to put this one in mid. I get what they were trying to do, but I don't think the 4 wrestlers' faces kind of pop enough for me, so I'm going to put it in mid, but A+ for trying. Next up is 1997, where it looks like they're standing in front of a garage. You have the Survivor Series logo behind it, and the 4 silhouettes of, again, I am assuming your 4 big stars. It looks like maybe 2 of them are Stone Cold and The Undertaker, but I don't know off the top of my head. But something that's bothering me is in the top right corner is Gang Rules. And what's bothering me about this, and I've talked about it also in my ECW pay-per-view tier list names, is that they misspelled rules. Not that they replaced the S with a Z. I don't care about that. That's fine. What's missing is the E. And they did it in ECW as well. It was Anarchy Rules. They wrote it like if it was like graffiti or like if you were doodling in your notebook. But when you do that, you would put RULEZ. It's more than just replacing the S with a Z. It's just misspelled even in like graffiti or doodling worlds. And that bothers me. But I'm going to give it a pass because I do think it's a pretty cool poster with just the silhouettes of your 4 wrestlers in front of a garage. I'm going to still put it in good, but I'm not going to lie. Shit like that does bother me. Then we go to 1998, and this one is just freaking awesome. You have a black background, but it's not just a straight up black. It's like a grainy black with just a skull on the front cover with the tattoo of Deadly Games on the front cover with the really cool Survivor Series logo at the bottom. It's a really simple logo. I really like the skull, though. As you can tell, I like darker vibes, like spooky vibes, stuff like that. So this one is going in Masterpiece because this one is just really cool. It's really creepy, and I do like that. And I'm just going to move this one here. I'm not going to rearrange all of them, but for the Masterpieces, the order that they go in is what I think is the absolute best. So right now, it goes 98, 94, 93. Next up is 1999, and this one, simply, it's just The Rock with a cool, interesting background of like something you would see in like a school picture. I'm putting it in good simply because it's The Rock, and The Rock is freaking cool. I don't really like just like boring, straight-up wrestlers posing on a poster, but it's The Rock. The Rock is my favorite. It's pretty cool. Next is Survivor Series 2000, which I believe was the return of Stone Cold, maybe in the ring or something. I don't remember off the top of my head, but you have the camouflage font across the bottom. You have Stone Cold also, I think, wearing camouflage in this poster, but Stone Cold's also just to the side of it. With the rules have changed, you have a radar on the other side. I don't know what the vibes of this is supposed to be, but I don't like it that much. I like The Rock more than I like Stone Cold, so I'm going to put this one in mid because I just don't know what's going on in this poster. Next is Survivor Series 2000 with Team WWF versus The Alliance in ECW and WCW. People don't love this storyline, but this is my personal favorite 5-on-5 match. You have the 2 teams right on the front cover, and I usually don't like when there's a lot of wrestlers on a poster. This poster is fine. It would be absolutely iconic if during this time period where WCW was bought by WWF, if they actually got WCW wrestlers besides Booker T. I think that's the only thing that's really hurting this is this poster could be absolutely iconic if we kind of moved some wrestlers around in a fantasy world. Imagine Stone Cold replaces the Big Show. You still have RVD, you still have Booker T, but imagine you have someone like maybe Sting and Hollywood Hulk Hogan and Goldberg. This would be an iconic poster to have of WWF versus really WCW, but also ECW. Unfortunately, we never got that type of match between WWF and WCW. It could be better, so I'm just going to put it in mid. And I also wanted to include this one because there was 2 posters for this pay-per-view. It's Lita and Tori Wilson on the front cover. It's nothing special, but it's actually pretty cool because they're just, there's a dark background. You have them 2 posing in the front. It's actually pretty good in terms of what it is. I think it's better than Kevin Nash and Shawn Michaels. So I put it in good. No jail so far, but that might change. It might change right now. Jail.
You right to jail.
Jail.
You right to jail.
No. So for 2002, we also have 2 posters. So I wanted to do this one first. And this show, again, has a personal, special place in my heart. There's a theme song that I love. This is the first ever Elimination Chamber match ever seen. I just love this pay-per-view, but I love this poster. RVD is probably my favorite personal high flyer. I know people love Eddie. I know people love Jeff Hardy. I know people love whoever else. RVD was my guy. In terms of like that style, I loved RVD. And it's just a cool picture of RVD, and it's painted. So it's actually a painting for the poster. It's not an actual painting, but, it looks like a painting, which I think is cool. So I'm going to put this one also in that good category. I like this poster. It's really awesome. Then there's the other 2002 poster, really displaying the Elimination Chamber part of it, which I do like as well. It's basically just a match card, realistically. And, you have your 6 guys on the front cover, Elimination Chamber with the chain link fence behind it. I think that's pretty cool. Again, I don't love when wrestlers are spammed on a poster, but they're not really spammed. It's a match card, but it's in a very cool way. I put it in good. Next up is Survivor Series 2003 poster with Shane McMahon on the front cover, and this was during that time of the Kane versus Shane storyline and that whole feud, which I loved. I really liked that storyline. It was a very cool, fun feud. Shane was really putting his body on the line during this time period. You have Shane on the front with very fiery reddish, orange, and yellow on the cover with a faded Shane diving. It looks like he has blood on his pants. I'm assuming just to, display bloodshed. I think this is a really good poster, and the fact that Shane McMahon has a cool poster is pretty awesome. So, good for Shane. I like this poster a lot. And overall, Survivor Series is doing very well with posters. Next up is Survivor Series 2004, and if you've watched any of my poster videos, you know how much I dislike wrestlers just spammed on a poster of just, your whole roster's on the poster. But with 2004... what they did do was make it kind of like a comic book drawing of some sort, and I find that a million times more interesting than just posting them all on the poster with nothing else. So at the very least, at least they drew them, or at least it looks that way. So I'm going to put this one in a higher mid, but it's not that bad. Next up is 2005, and you have a silhouette of The Undertaker with a very reddish orange, yellow smoke behind him. The Undertaker and Survivor Series posters go together like peanut butter and jelly. Undertaker does not miss if he's on a poster and it involves Survivor Series. So this one is awesome. It's scary. It's menacing. It's everything you want in a poster. This poster fucking rules. It's going in Masterpiece. Next up is 2006, and this feels like a callback to 1998. You have a skull in the deep dark shadows on the front cover with what it looks like to be your 3 champions of John Cena, Booker T, and The Big Show. This one, again, is really cool. I think this is an awesome poster. Back-to-back masterpieces, but I still like the 98 one just a little bit better. But this one is awesome as well. Next up is Survivor Series 2007. Simply, it's just Edge with a chainsaw where it looks like he chainsawed the ring in half and kind of just caused a lot of chaos. Nothing behind him besides the Survivor Series logo. It reminds me of, he wasn't a serial killer, but it was like a famous zombie killer or something like that. The guy Ash with the chainsaw. I think that's the vibes I'm getting. There's nothing wrong with this poster. I prefer other things than that, but it's not bad at all. So I'm going to put it in good. Next up is 2008, and this one is simply just an angry John Cena that from a picture I guess they took. It's nothing that great. They just put a little smoke behind him, and that's really it. That's just the poster. That one's kind of not that exciting. I'm putting it in mid. Next is 2009, where they went back to this like military theme for DX, and this one is Triple H and Shawn Michaels really inside of a tank. They have the Survivor Series Army military font in front of them. I don't like a lot of the DX posters, if I'm being honest with you, but this one is a better one. I hated their SummerSlam one. This one is fine. I don't love it myself, but I know if I don't put it in good, someone's going to bitch about it, so I'm putting it in good for that reason. Next up is Survivor Series 2010, and this is simply just Wade Barrett on the front cover, but I feel like they took a picture of him at a weird angle where he looks disproportionate. I don't know if that's just me or what that is, but, you know, it's not a bad poster. But what makes me laugh here is that they had to put Wade Barrett in the top right corner of it because why? I don't know. I find that very odd. They could have just left that out. And it's not a bad poster. I don't really have any problems with it. So I'm going to put it in good. Next, we go to 2011 with the Never Before, Never Again. It's just The Rock and John Cena on the poster. There's not much to it. It's just their PNGs. And then they kind of just put a nice little faded black around them. And they put Never Before, Never Again. And then in the top left corner, they put the most charismatic team of all time. I don't like that slogan. I don't like calling them that. I know they had to kind of think of something, but it's not my favorite. I'm honestly... It's kind of mid. It really is kind of mid. It sucks because I could be totally biased to say it's awesome, but it's really not to me. So it's going to mid. Next is 2012 with the Miz on the front cover. Shout out Miz. I actually think this one's pretty cool. You have the black and white behind him, and his body is making the split in the picture. Even the Survivor Series font, it's half white, and it's mostly white, but then that last like little part that's in the white section is black. I think that's pretty cool. The only thing is like sometimes I read it as Survive or Series. And again, they did the same thing that they did with Wade Barrett. They had to put The Miz in little font right next to him. I don't know why they do that. Overall, I think this is a good poster. I'm going to put this in good. I actually like this poster a lot. Shout out The Miz. Next is 2013 with the Wyatt family on the front cover, and you have two of them holding alligators over their shoulders for some reason. Bray Wyatt sitting in his famous chair at the time. I loved the Wyatt family. You have... The logo is orange and black, which I think is really cool. It really stands out. And they kind of made it where the logo is part of like the ground because Bray Wyatt's foot is over part of the Survivor Series. But what's bothering me is it's not fully correct because when you keep reading, the time is in front of Bray Wyatt's foot versus under it because it would just look a little bit better. Some continuity issues here, but not a bad poster at all. It's not my favorite though. I don't mind it. But that little thing with the whole time being in front of his foot versus not is kind of bothering me. Little things matter to me. I'm going to put this one in mid. Next up is 2014, and this one is very similar to the one they did with The Miz, except this one is Seth Rollins, where it's half black, half white. And on the black side, he's fading into the black and like turning into smoke, which I think is really cool. I think this is an awesome poster, and I just think it's better looking with Seth Rollins than it is with The Miz. So I'm going to put this one in Masterpiece. I'm going to put it right there. And this is also the night that Sting returned. So the whole black and white thing, maybe it was foreshadowing, maybe it wasn't. I don't know, but it makes sense to me. So it's going as Masterpiece. Then we go to Survivor Series 2015, and this one is to honor The Undertaker, 25 years. This is maybe the only Undertaker poster that I'm kind of just like whatever on. I just feel like this is not that exciting to me. It's just a big 25 behind The Undertaker, and I feel like there's a little bit more they could have done. You've seen what they can do with The Undertaker. So for this, shockingly, I'm putting this in no. I'm also taking the 1991, and I'm putting that one in no also. But really, I'm putting this Undertaker one in no because when I was looking up these posters, WWE posted an unreleased Survivor Series 2015 poster that they never used. And this one is fucking awesome. So this one, to celebrate either 25 years of Undertaker or 25 years of Undertaker at Survivor Series. This one, it's The Undertaker with an interesting, cool background of the blue. And then on the bottom, it's like a reflection of The Undertaker from when he was young, a different version of The Undertaker with a bunch of gravestones, and it's red. So you have your red and blue to signify SmackDown and Raw, but you also have a current Undertaker with the reflection of his young self in the underworld, or at least that's how I take it. And I think this poster is freaking awesome. I can't believe they didn't use this as an official poster, and I wish they used it because I think this is a masterpiece. I think it's freaking awesome. Next up is 2016, and you have Brock Lesnar and Goldberg on the front cover because this was their iconic match that was like 1 minute long, the squash match, heard around the world. It's not a bad one, honestly. What I don't love is the fantasy warfare just got real. I don't necessarily know what that means. I guess like a fantasy of what if they ever wrestled again and we finally got it. This one's not bad. I would put this one in like low tier good. It's nothing special, but it's not that bad either. And you're looking at this board and you're like, wow, we haven't had a lot of no's and jails. And then we go to Survivor Series 2017. You got Brock Lesnar and AJ Styles on the front cover. And then on the bottom, you have a plethora of wrestlers that I guess are competing in a match. I hate when they do it this way. This one, to me, argue with the wall. It's not exciting to me. I'm putting it in jail.
You right to jail.
I don't like when they do it this way. I've always hated it. I always will. You have to have a really good way of displaying this if you want to use a lot of wrestlers, in my opinion. So I'm putting this one in jail. Next is 2018, and this one is just all of your champions because this was a champion versus champion style show. The only difference is that right before the show, AJ Styles actually lost the WWE Championship to Daniel Bryan, so eventually we got Brock versus Daniel Bryan. So just replace AJ Styles with DB. It's the same thing, and, you know, it's not horrible, but I don't like it that much. I'm putting this one in no. Then in 2019, they started including NXT, at least in this show. So you have your 3 women's champions on the front cover of Bayley, Becky, and Shayna Baszler. And what I do like about this one versus the other ones is that you have your 3 champions, and what I like about this one is it's divided by the 3 colors of red, blue, and gold, and they kind of split them, and they line them up with the show that on the brand that they're on. I like this one. Honestly, I really do. I think it's a pretty good poster because it's not every wrestler on the Raw roster. It's not every wrestler on the SmackDown roster. It's really just the 3 champions with the 3 different colors, and it stands out. I like this one. Then we go to 2020, celebrating 30 years of The Undertaker at Survivor Series, and I feel like this one is a much more better presentation of celebrating an anniversary for The Undertaker versus the 25 years one. So it is better. You have the Undertaker logo with the 30, and then, you know, the menacing Undertaker behind it. I think this is a very good poster. When I put it in masterpiece, I'm going to put it there for now. I don't really have an issue with it. I might put this one in good. This one is kind of like an in-between, so I feel like if it's in between, I'll put it in good. Next is 2021 with Big E on the front cover wearing an interesting jacket where he's outlined in this neon red and blue, mostly blue. I don't hate this one. I don't love it necessarily, and I hate that on the bottom they had to put a little Big E on the front. Everything is highlighted in like this neon blue, and I feel like it's a little too much neon blue, but as a poster, pretty good. I mean, pretty cool. It's just it's a very bright neon color, but it's not bad at all. Then we get into the War Games series. So now we are in Survivor Series of 2022, where the poster is just the Bloodline, because the Bloodline was obviously the hottest thing during this time frame. And what I do like about this, even though it's just a bunch of wrestlers on it, I just do want to say that I like that they're sitting at a table, and in theory, Roman is standing at the head of the table, and on the table itself, there's like writing in chalk for the date, which I think is pretty clever. In the background, you have Solo, Paul Heyman, and Sami Zayn. I still don't love this one because it's just a lot of wrestlers on a poster, so I am going to put this in mid, but I do like how clear it is, and I like the somewhat creativity of it. I think it's all right. Then we go to Survivor Series 2023, and this one, it's simply just Cody Rhodes as if he was emerging from water, face painted camouflage for War Games. I get it. I think it's a funny poster. It's pretty good. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad. I'm going to put it in good. I actually can't believe how many good posters there are because I usually don't put them that much. Before at the end, we're going to rearrange some stuff. Then we go to 2024 Survivor Series with another War Games of Bloodline versus Bloodline. CM Punk isn't on this poster, but he was included in the actual match. And this one, again, it's just a bunch of wrestlers on a poster. I know it's the 2 teams, but I'm going to put this in. It's really just... It's in mid. It's the same color scheme as the other one that they had with the Bloodline. It's nothing special. So I'm going to put it in mid. And before we get to the final posters, I want to rearrange a couple. I don't really like the Stone Cold one from 2000, so it's going to go in no. The DX one is going in mid. The 1996 or 7 one, whichever one it is, this one is going in no. I understand what they were trying to do, but I think it fell flat. Other than that, I like where we are, honestly. I can't believe how many good ones there are. For the last one, the current 2025 Survivor Series posters, there was actually 3 of them, and I wanted to include them all. So the first promotional poster, which they posted long ago when they first announced it was going to San Diego. This is their first promotional poster with a bunch of wrestlers on the front cover, which a lot of them won't even be included in the show now, looking back. So on top of it being a spam poster, a lot of them aren't going to be actually in matches, so I'm going to put this one in no. Then we have the updated poster, and it's simply the Vision without Seth Rollins, and this one is just a simple War Games poster with the 3 on the front. A lot of people didn't like this. I don't think it's that bad. I think this is an overhated poster, but it's nothing that special, so I'm going to put this one in mid. And then finally, certainly last but not certainly least, is another promotional poster that they had for at least the men's War Games. And while I think this is one of the most stacked War Games we've ever had and probably ever will have, it's just really a match card of just the men's match. And again, it's just a bunch of guys on a poster. This one, if you know me, it's either going to mid or it's going in no. Either way, I'm going to put it in mid. It's not that great. Overall, I think that Survivor Series has some really good posters and really solid ones. This is the most amount of good we've ever had in a tier list video. And just the masterpieces I feel like are untouchable. and The Undertaker holds most of them because he just fucking rules. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you would change anything. I think this is a great set of posters overall. I think this is one of the better pay-per-views that has really good promotional posters. So let me know in the comments below what you think. If you like this video, please check out my Survivor Series logo tier list, and coming soon will be a stages and theme song tier list. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.